She says, when life is lived passionately with purpose, we encourage a better world, one that is filled with passion and drive and never taking a single second for granted. She's a Saskatchewan girl born and raised on the farm, growing up with the world as her playground and a farm filled with, as you can imagine, horses, cows, peacocks, chickens, bunnies, cats, dogs, and a donkey, if you can believe that. There was always something to do and a world that inspired creative thinking, play, and imagination. She's always had a passion for adventure, education, health, and fitness, and values the honest faith that she was raised with. She moved from a small town to attend university in the big city, and although she wasn't sure what her ultimate plan was, she believed that education was the answer. She met her husband, now named Brett, and graduated with a business degree, which made her absolute sense to her for her passion for math and science. It wasn't until she experienced a few years in the corporate world that she knew her financial freedom did not lie within the corporate walls. She took the plunge into the entrepreneurial atmosphere with her husband in 2010 when they opened their first anti-fitness location and went on to open their second location 1 year later. And being surrounded by health and fitness every day, it was not long before she enrolled in her first bikini competition and soon afterward obtained sponsorship from Magnet Nutraceuticals from actually Surrey, BC. It was not competing in the particular that had her hooked. It was the audience that provided her to be a voice to others on how to live health and fitness in mind, heart, body every single day. Not just for one-stage appearances as well. Along with the competition stage, she found her voice through photography and have since enjoyed multiple opportunities for fitness and fashion publications as a cover model and feature contributor, allowing her to spread her message even more. As she has grown as an entrepreneur, influential fitness and figure athlete, in the past 2 years, she has incorporated and built up her own lifestyle apparel company as well. She started with co-branding with a local clothing company and soon found herself creating an entire line of fashion available in their facilities and online to be shipped everywhere in the world. When they both decided to expand their fitness franchise in the neighboring province, the growth of MHBworld.com had to take a back seat for the intern, and she learned so much from starting something from the ground up. True learning experience. Now they have just built their third Anytime Fitness franchise location and signed the lease for their fourth. These guys are machines. She's taken a step back from the operation of the club and now has the ability to spread her message and empower others through influence. Throughout her life, she had a passion for adventure and investing herself towards new ventures that had brought her to this platform called the Fitnesspreneur. She created a formula for others to follow who want to get fit and stay fit, get published and become a brand, and ultimately get paid and monetize their passion. She is very excited to help others toward their future endeavor as a fellow fitnesspreneur. When life is lived passionately with purpose, once again, we encourage a better world. The one and only Holly Barker, we want to welcome you to the show.
Woohoo!
So how is Holly doing today?
I'm awesome. It is a great day, Matthew. Thank you for asking.
And you had a hike this morning. You did all your stuff. Like, you're ready to go. It's 8:30 in the morning for you right now in BC, correct?
You betcha.
So a fresh start.
Fresh start. It's Friday. I have got my dog tired. I have fed myself, and I'm ready to rock.
Holly, tell us right now what you are most excited about in your life.
I am excited about the Fitnesspreneur. Obviously, it is my newest venture, and it is my passion put into a product that I am now offering to the world. So I'm so excited about it.
You know, when I first heard about this and I saw, how much information you're putting out, the quality of the product, the website you're putting out, everything looks impeccable. So we're going to dive in today all about this stuff. We're going to share with the listeners all this great stuff that you're going to be talking about. What I'm also going to ask you right now, Holly, is really, what truly inspired you to start the Fitnesspreneur?
So I guess it has kind of been my calling for everything that I have been doing to this point thus far. I have always known that education has been such a large part in our family growing up, and it's something that I'm passionate about. So through business and through fitness and through all of my life experiences to this point, being able to invest in myself, learn, and ultimately now teach is what I'm really excited about.
And how long have you had this company going for?
The Fitnesspreneur just started this year. So the products just launched 2 months ago, and I'm slowly launching products as the months go on.
And you also have a background, obviously, in math and finance and business degree as well, correct?
You bet. That is my education is finance.
Okay, so finance, like finance degree then?
Yeah, from the University of Saskatchewan, I got my commerce degree, and my major is finance with a minor in economics.
Incredible. That's fabulous. Okay, so now how have you found that incorporating that business sense of what you know, all those years of business, having 4 clubs now, obviously 3, but you're going to have your 4th one pretty soon. What has that taught you now going into the Fitnesspreneur?
It's incredible because business can be carried throughout every single thing that you do in life. And I believe that to do something correctly, it should come from a point of business first. And a lot of the time where people misstep is they let their hearts lead first, or they lead, especially in the fitness industry, they lead with fitness first. And business comes second. And I am extremely excited to help people approach the fitness world from business first.
I like that. So do you mind if you're a little bit vulnerable with me right now?
Absolutely.
Because, I'll be honest, most people who watch you or probably follow you on social media sometimes probably label you as like this top fitness model. She looks amazing. She's doing all this great stuff. She's got businesses. I want to hear more of the other stuff, Holly. For example, in business, what do you struggle with? What are the things you have a challenge with that you can share with listeners that you have that, obviously we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. So what do you find in your business, maybe it's, at any time what you've experienced, that you always have to almost have support in to really help you excel?
So actually putting the plan in place and getting it out there what exactly I want to do, because I can live passionately and inspire people just by living my adventure, but it's hard to actually put that into a business plan. And so then managing expectations is probably the hardest thing that I have come across. And then what I have also found with owning businesses, managing people, and making sure that everybody's inspired, but they don't feel that I'm superior or that I feel like I should be treated differently, but then also maintaining respect. So that, I believe, I don't know if that's a proper answer, but that's what I've struggled with, and I'm getting better at it.
Thank you for being open, Holly. I appreciate that. I think listeners, sometimes always get all the good stuff and they never hear about, what people can improve on. I think that shows authenticity in people where, they can be done. If Holly can do it, then I can do it. You know what I mean? I think it's really fair.
Absolutely. I love the fact that if I can be seen as a success by someone else, but I myself know that I am no different than that person, then that's where my purpose steps in. I can help teach that person to achieve whatever success they want to achieve.
Interesting. So when someone's starting their own brand, maybe it's fitness, maybe it's a gym, maybe it's any business in general. You've had a lot of years in the business and experience. So what do you tell somebody is one of the most important tactics or strategies that you would suggest to them?
To not strive for perfection. to find their voice and to create their value at every single turn. So it doesn't matter if you are starting a business, starting a franchise, if you want to get sponsorship, if you want to be published, it really, really starts with your value. And if you can contribute something, then it doesn't matter if it doesn't happen today, it will happen.
I love it, Holly. I love it. We're going to jump over actually talking more about the Fitnesspreneur right now, okay? I want to talk a little bit more about the specifics for people listening, for example, how to get sponsored, and what is in that process, because obviously so many athletes out there who maybe did 1 show or 10 shows or 20 shows, they come and say to you probably, or me or anybody else out there, well, how do you really do it? So what do you tell them?
So that's an amazing question. And something that I'm super passionate about, and I'm really excited about the Get Published series in the Fitnesspreneur. So first off, it is creating that value and allowing yourself to be a business and to be a brand and to act professionally. Once you create the value and you start to take things on professionally, you start to attract the right attention. And a lot of people, they go out and they compete and they want to get this sponsorship just for the title or just for the free tub of protein, and that's really not what it's about. It's about creating a network and creating opportunities and win-win situations. When you create a win-win relationship with a sponsor, with a company, with a product, with a brand, with everything in life, that is going to pay you back for years to come, rather than just making it a side hustle or being passionate about fitness and working for somebody else in a corporate career, but your passion really is over here in fitness, but then you're giving away your time for free just for a tub of protein. That's where the misstep is. So it is it's creating that value and being consistent, taking advantage of opportunities, but not taking advantage of people or expecting more than you're actually worth at this moment.
Let me ask you this, another kind of direct question to you. So when do you draw that line in that business process when you're delivering a lot of value and you would approach the sponsor for a financial means? So what sort of value is required? Like, what would you tell somebody if, let's say, they're a well-known fitness model, or they're starting out and they come to you and say, well, Holly, how do you really get paid doing this? Obviously the free tub protein is great, but how do you get paid? What do you tell somebody? Like, is it more value? What do you suggest? How does that work?
So value isn't always a dollar sign.
Yep.
When you create your value and you have something that you can actually offer,
yep,
then I believe if that value isn't seen with that company, then somebody's going to see it. And it's not always going to happen where you're with the right company, you create this value and you immediately see returns. A lot of the time, people are taken advantage of. And so it might not be this product, this company, this person that's going to help you forward, but you're the constant. So you always have to make the best choice to what is going to pay your lifestyle forward. And that's not always money. A lot of people are quick to expect a paycheck or expect an amount for their time. And when you trade your time for money, you're always going to be broke. Mm-hmm. So it's creating your value, creating your brand, and ultimately your wealth as a lifestyle.
That's a great answer, because so many of our athletes, I get approached so many of our athletes saying, oh, Matt or our team, when you get sponsored, how do you get paid? And I love your answer. We need more education from you to a lot of these people out there who, because it's almost like a gray area sometimes, mm-hmm. and you're providing the black and white scenario and what needs to be taught correctly and professionally So is there anything you want to add to that? Because like there are millions of athletes out there who think a sponsorship means getting paid. I want to really get that clear in people's head, on this interview, so that, a sponsorship is about a win-win, like you mentioned, about value. Can you expand a little more on that, Holly?
So if your ultimate goal is to get a paycheck and your ultimate goal is to get free product or the label of sponsored athlete or published fitness model, you have to create a voice and you have to create a brand to separate you, because there are thousands, tens of thousands of people out there that can do the exact same thing. Anybody can get in shape if they really want to. Anybody can go and get photos. Anybody can step on stage. How do you separate yourself from everybody else? How do you create your value?
That's brilliant. That's the great answer, Holly. I love it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
I want to dive. That definitely gives clarity, because all our listeners, I know, will definitely get value from that. And guys, check her out on the Fitnesspreneur on more information on that. I know actually you're going to have a special offer at the end of the show as well, right?
Yes, I am creating something specifically for the Peak Mindset audience, and I'm really, really excited to get you guys in there and to help you with some very useful tips. So it's going to be at thefitnesspreneur.com/peak mindset.
And guys, this topic will definitely, do you mind talking about this topic as well, Holly? This topic's going to be a good topic to talk about.
Absolutely. So it is going to be from the stage to sponsorship to ultimately creating your brand in 3 simple steps.
Love it. Now let's dive into getting published. Okay, so these magazines, there's online, there's paper magazines, there's bodybuilding.com, there's all these platforms. So how does an athlete get published or even get in these platforms, like the way you've been getting into all these things?
So I think it is really, really valuable to create and to build your voice. So to consistently create content. And that content doesn't always have to be for somebody else. It can be through your journey, and for you to look back and to see how much you've grown and to see how much you've learned. So what I've done is I've always blogged. The minute that I decided to step on stage, I created a blog format. I use social media as a very therapeutic outlet. I have Living Your Healthiest Lifestyle with Holly Barker, which is a monthly publication column. And I choose whatever has impacted me that month, and I research it and I write about it. And I have progressively gotten better at expressing my voice and creating content to where it really doesn't take that much time out of my day to create content that will complement a photo. I love photography so much, but just a photo gets old really, really quick. So putting a voice behind that photo helps you create your value, helps you create your brand, and allows people to get to know you. And the publications, they love that. They see that as value, and you are speaking to their audience. So,
wow, that I never heard that way before. That was phenomenal.
Thanks.
Very good, guys. Now you know why you should come on the show, guys. This is just terrific. So we got to get all this information actually in the show. So let's kind of go into how you deal with, the no's and the people that say, no, Holly, no, next week or next month, or we are interested. How do you deal? Because this happens a lot in the industry, a lot in this industry. So what's your strategy? How do you deal with it? How many no's do you get? I'm just kind of curious. How many no's does Holly Barker get?
I get no's every single day. And you know what? It's because I put myself out there every single day. You can only get a no if you're putting yourself out there. So no is a successful answer. I was told by my husband that, well, he read something or was learning something, and he heard that each no gets you that much closer to your yes. So wake up every single day and search for those no's, because they get you closer to the yes. And so dealing with the no's, it's not personal. I love the fact that someone on the other end, when I reach out to them, that they can actually make the decision instead of a non-response, which is a big pet peeve of mine. I always strive to under promise and over deliver, and I'm professionally persistent. So I may come across as annoying, but I will always follow up. I believe that it's on my part to put myself out there, to follow up until I hear the no. And even then, if I hear the no, if I continue to create my value and I continue to seek out the yes, then I know that that no will ultimately become a yes if the time is right and if that opportunity still serves me at that time.
Great answer. Great answer. You can tell you've been doing this for a couple of years, eh?
I've learned from really, really great people. So I'm blessed and I'm so excited to just share it forward.
That's awesome. You're going to be a great speaker too.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. So now let's look at your vision. Let's look at where the Fitnesspreneur is going to be going in the next, say, year or two. Where do you see this vision, expanding to? Obviously, it's going to be online worldwide, but where do you see the vision sort of expanding to in the next couple of years?
So right now, me getting the courses in a format where I can scale it was my ultimate goal. I believe that the information and education and experiences that I have is the value that I can provide. So being able to offer that in a course content has been my number one goal. So getting that online and available, now I need to put the marketing behind it, and I need to actually get it out there and tell people what I have to offer, because nobody really knows until they hear it or until I consistently spread the message. And then I also am creating a platform for mentorship. So I really do want to, I know that everybody doesn't fit in a box. So the courses are amazing, but to really, really excel and to create profits through passion, I would love to take on one-on-one mentorships and see a person's dreams through fruition.
I love it. Can I just backtrack for a second?
Yeah.
Do you mind?
No.
So I want to go back to the beginning when I asked you about this, the area of strategy and planning. Okay, when you first started this idea, because many of listeners probably have ideas that they want to start in their life, whether it's fitness or business, and I want to know how Holly did this. Okay, so when you first thought of the idea of the Fitnesspreneur, did you have a strategy and a whole action plan process, outcomes, vision, goals, or are you like you had a skeleton and you refined it? What was your process and development of that?
So through my course or through my content creation, the past few years, it's always come down to the business of fitness. I want to be the healthy barker. I like a play on wealthy barber. I believe that everybody should be able to get to live a life of get-tos and have these adventures, but I just really didn't know how to make it happen. And I knew that I wanted to create something where I could scale my time, I could invest my capital, which is my experience and my education, into new ventures. So to ultimately be a venture capitalist. And seriously, it was this past year, a lot of soul searching and feeling as though maybe I didn't have anything to offer. Maybe I was just meant to not offer anything. I don't know. Like it was a struggle this past year. So then one day we were hiking Knox Mountain right in Kelowna, and I said, it's going to be called the Fitnesspreneur, Brett, and I want to have it 3 parts: how to get fit, get published, and get paid. And I think it was always like, I asked my audience, what if you could hire me to do something? What would it be? And everybody just goes straight to fitness and then to getting published. But you can't just get fit and get published and then live this lavish lifestyle, you ultimately have to get paid. And that paid part was where it was like, that's it. That's my purpose. And that's how I'm different.
I love it. So when you first had that idea on the mountain, and you're telling Brett, I have this idea, this is going to be it. So when you got down that mountain, was that first month, like, did you plan everything out? Did you have a strategy, or did you just feel it as it went along with like intuition, what you felt? Like, what was kind of happening along that process?
So yeah, it was a skeleton. Okay. I invested in how to create a course creation, and I didn't really exactly know how my content would be delivered. So then that was another, when we were driving to Utah, I was plugged in and learning while Brett drove, and then skydiving in Arizona. Like, it's all these things that just kind of, at every amazing adventure I went on, I was more inspired to just be like, no, this is how it's going to be, and this is how it's going to be. And you know what? Next year, it might look totally different, but that's great, because at every turn, I'm learning and growing, and that is success to me.
What would you say is your biggest lesson you learn in this process?
To just continuously put yourself out there and to stay true to you, but like, do not be afraid to pivot. And my biggest lessons learned have been from previous, what people would see as failure. And there has been no failure in anything I've done, because I've learned every step of the way.
Okay, I want to go into some deeper. Do you mind? Okay, some more personal okay. Stuff. And I'm saying this because I feel so many people in life are going through right now in their life what you were going through before you found the Fitnesspreneur. Where you weren't even sure what value you were going to offer. So when you were going through that, how long, was that like a year for you? Because I really feel that people need to hear what you went through and how you found it. And you're like, I let it go one day. I just was in the mountains, because some people need hope. People need hope in this world. And I feel that, when, for example, your story is very inspiring and you're doing what you love. And I can tell, like, guys, just so you know, when I put these questions to Holly last night, she wrote me a storybook in the morning, like it was like 11 o'clock at night. She's writing this stuff out. This is how passionate she is. So I wanted to, people who are listening that are trying to find hope in their vision and what their dream is. Holly's a perfect example of what you had to go through, the up and the down, right? So tell me, if you don't mind sharing a bit of that, if you don't mind, Holly.
Absolutely. Like, with everything that I have done, I've learned what I don't want. So this has not been overnight. It hasn't been the past year. It's been years. And getting my business degree and going into corporate America is where it first started. I sat at a desk every noon hour. I worked through my lunch. Every hour on the hour, I would go and do the stairs. Every day I would rush home to put on my Lulus, and I'd go to the gym, and that's where I found my solace. And it was 3 years of, I learned that I didn't want to be there, but I learned amazing life lessons, and I learned how hard I was willing to work. So when we opened our first club, it wasn't to buy myself a job. Neither Brett or I wanted to be entrepreneurs and be tied to our business, trade our time for money, be tied up in the operations. We always knew that we needed the ability to scale, but everything takes time, right? You don't just go from zero to hero. So from working in the business to then removing myself to working on the business from home, then that's when my mind and my ability to decide what I really ultimately wanted to work towards and create, that's where I started to discover myself. So from starting my own coaching plan, Barker's Beauties and Buffs, to printing my photos, lipstick, bubblegum, and strength on tank tops, and then to collaborating with Mind, Heart, Body, with a local rock star company and allowing them to sell that to the Anytime Fitness franchise, and then creating MHB World. So it's always been, I've always needed a creative outlet. So with each step, I really, really, really want to express how important it is to just keep continuing to find yourself. And the underlying message is always the same. Your passion always shines through. And if it's creativity, it's just that outlet that you need. And you can't find it if you're not willing to explore it.
Wow. What would you say to somebody who's trying to find their voice? What do you tell them?
Just to start writing and to start putting themselves out there, and to surround yourself with the influencers that you hope to be. Everybody else is just white noise. It's the power of the scroll. So if you are scrolling and you're not willing to like or comment on the things that you're seeing, you're being influenced by those things. Take them out of your life, because you don't need things that are just going to create envy in your life. You need healthy competition, but you need people that bring out the best in you. So start creating content, start putting yourself out there, start your network, and start building on your network and creating your value.
Would you say, when you mentioned about healthy competition, would you say that sort of competition that follows an egoless mindset as opposed to more of an abundance-filled mindset?
Absolutely. So if you have healthy influencers in your life that you want to do what they're doing, but not exactly copying them, and those people that actually will help you succeed, like Marcus of Magnum is an amazing one, because he is someone that both Brett and I look up to, but would never see as competition. And he's always there for guidance and feedback and to help you create opportunities. And then he knows we're there for him if he has any questions in anything that we can help out with too.
I love that.
I think that's a great relationship. That's healthy competition, because he inspires us to be great.
That's awesome. I think more people need to hear stuff like that, because we live in a world that's so based on fear, and competing on fear, and competing on ego, and I'm better than you. So hearing this from you, Holly, and hearing it from the network that you've created and you're involved in is empowering to others.
And it's funny that you say that, because I all month long my mind's just kind of it goes into tangents to see if it's a topic that I can touch on at the end of the month for my column. And this month it has been fear, and it's really because the fear of failure is why most people don't start. But I believe that it's fear of success that is what's really stopping people, because success is so attainable if you just go out and execute. And I think people are so happy to be complacent and so easily to say, well, it happened to her, it'll never happen to me. But then they get to a point really quickly of well, why can't that happen for me? So then it creates false expectations. So yeah, I love that. I think that the fear of failure is scary, but the fear of success is even scarier for some people.
That is very true. That is such a powerful statement. I love where you went with that.
Thanks.
Because if this industry, I find, can be very much in tune with that environment of energy. I'm sure you've seen that many of times, and what you're sharing and teaching other people in this is very powerful, because I think there's probably less than 5% of the fitness population, actually, maybe even less than 5%, think like that and really embody those values. But when you find people like that, like yourself, Holly, like Brett, like Marcus, There's a collaboration of greatness that comes out of that. There's a higher level of everyone evolves, beyond. And it's funny because it's just like, okay, for example, here's Holly, here's Brett, here's Marcus, here's Matt. Holly goes up, then Brett goes up, then Marcus goes up. So everyone's, it's climbing the ladder, right? But there's no ego or fear of like, well, you're better than me. It's like, no, I want to empower you to become better. So I love what you're teaching, and I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
We get in this. You can get me going. If we literally, this is like a podcast show, but this is so awesome. It's exciting, content to talk about. So, okay, rapid fire questions for Peak 5. You ready to go?
Yep.
Let's do it. Do you have a coach or a mentor right now?
So this one, I believe that everybody that I choose to influence me. So whether it's podcasts that I listen to, whether it is the music that I listen to, the people that I surround myself with, that is my mentor and coach.
Love it. Number 2, your most influential book.
So The Wealthy Barber, because I believe that everything in my life kind of plays on that, how if you invest in yourself first, and that pertains to health, wealth, and creating your value, that you'll be successful.
I love it. Number 3, your most influential quote.
So, each no gets you that much closer to yes.
Ooh.
And I don't know who quoted it, but I'll call Brett.
Just say Holly Barker.
Yeah, right. You know what? Can I say something funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
So yesterday, I had a knock at the door, and Billy goes crazy when somebody knocks on our door. So it's like kind of a nuisance in the first place. And then this young adult was trying to sell something to me. And so I quickly said no, and he expressed sadness, whether it was going to be able to change my mind or if it changed the mind of the person that he knocked on previously. And I said, no worries, just thank me for my no. It got you that much closer to your yes. And he was mad. He got mad at me.
No way.
I was like, well, it's better to say no quickly than to just leave you hanging out my door. So yeah, that's just a funny story.
You caught him in the wrong state.
I know. Not expecting that.
Number 4, what's the one lesson you would tell your 20-year-old self right now?
To just go after it, to dream, to let your dreams run wild. Anything that you can create a plan for and work towards, you can make possible.
And the big question is, if there were no limits, number 5, what would you contribute to in the world if you had that choice?
So this one stays true. If you listen to my podcast with Brett, I responded with time, and I still believe that my time is my most valuable asset. It is the sum of all my experiences and my adventures and my education. So if I could scale my time and then have unlimited amounts, then that's what I would contribute.
I love it. Now, how do you define mindset in Holly's eyes?
Persistency, resiliency, tenacity, and just keep going.
What would you say on the success that you've achieved so far on a percent scale? Okay, so from 1 to 10, 1 being nothing, 10 being everything. Okay, what would you say mind has contributed to your success?
My mind, 100%, 10.
Okay. 10. Okay, and why is that?
Because the power of positivity, it really is. You can choose to fight it, but you're just doing yourself a disservice. Once you embrace a positive atmosphere, a positive lifestyle, positive influences, your world and your life changes.
How do you stay positive?
By waking up and being active and choosing to ask myself the right questions. So if it's something that is within my power to change, then I just have to ask myself the right question and go for it.
I love it. Is there anything else you want to add for the show, Holly? You want to share with the listeners, tips, strategies that you want to share?
I am so excited to be offered this opportunity, and I cannot wait to hopefully help you guys. If I can help you through anything, or if I am inspiring you, then please reach out to me. It makes my day. Where can we find you online, the great Holly Barker? So I'm primarily on Instagram at Hallsbarks Fitness, on my website, thefitnesspreneur.com, where I'm adding a lot of content of not just courses available, but also exercises, recipes, and my blogs. And then also on Facebook, Holly Barker. And you can email me anytime at thehollybarker@gmail.com.
And there's also that free product you're going to be having for all the listeners that are going to be on this show, right, Holly?
Absolutely, yes. That will be at thefitnesspreneur.com/peak mindset.
We're going to have that, guys, in the notes as well when this goes out. So Holly's going to send that over to myself, and we're going to put that in the show notes and have that product for you guys, or that free product. So guys, check that out. It's going to be some absolute gems in there that you'll be served towards Holly's greatness. And guys, please follow Holly Barker. She's an absolute machine when it comes to all the information she offers on how to get published, how to get paid, how to get fit, but doing it the natural, healthy way, and doing a way to really build your business in a way that's going to be successful and profitable. So guys, Holly Barker with Anytime Fitness and the fitnesspreneur.com. Check her out. And Holly, thank you again.
Thanks so much.